size of that room.
Chubb's got 77 yards on the ground, second down, 4, adding to it, stiff arming, keeping his balance. It's a foot race down the sideline, touchdown!
It's Hill. Taysom Hill picks up the Saints' first down, still going. Wow. Hill spins to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown.
All my haters mad, but I don't give a fuck. All my haters mad, but I don't give a fuck. My chopper hit. My chopper hit. My 40 hit. My 40 hit. I don't care if you let how step. I don't care if you let how rip. I don't care if you let how step. I don't care if you let how rip. I got sauce, I got flavor. Getting all this paper. I got sauce, I got flavor. Getting all this paper. Plain Jane Paddock on my motherfucking wrist. They notice every time when I walk up in this bitch. Post on walk up in this bitch. Keep my Glock up in this bitch. Post on walk up in this bitch. Keep my Glock up in this bitch. My chopper hit. My chopper hit. My 40 hit. My 40 hit.
Let me turn the mic on first. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the live stream of the PMP. I am your host, TJ Riddell, with an exciting night. Tuesday night, April 18th, 2023. We're almost a week over the draft, before the draft starts. And I couldn't tell you, I'm really excited about this draft, folks, because for one, it'll be our second annual PMP NFL Draft Special. And that's pretty impressive, guys. I have to say, I am very, very excited about watching this draft this year. It'll be a different setup than what I had last year for sure. It'll probably be the same setup that I had early on in the season, to where we just sit on my couch and sit there with Kaleb or whoever else decides to come on, and we just sit there and watch the draft. That's all we have to do. We just give our critiques or whatever about our favorite teams or other organizations that actually need a step up. Now, with that being said, later on tonight, at around 8:20, you'll see another guest of mine. It is Kaleb for the first time in quite some time. He'll be around, and we'll be talking about the draft. He's going to be my running back my running back analyst of the night. But before I jump into the pre-draft special or the NFL pre-draft talk, I'm going to talk about a couple things outside of the PMP. Well, sort of PMP-wise, but let's go ahead and start off with Uber Prints, okay? This ain't a sponsor, just to clarify that. But Uber Prints is a place where you can actually put a logo of your company or whatnot and make merchandise out of it. That's where I have my. That's where I have the PMP logo and all that. That's where you get this bad boy, the PMP Club. So, as you look in front of me, it's got a PMP Club logo here, and then you look on the back, PMP logo, for the love of football. Now, I have another shirt behind me, not the Stephon Diggs jersey, but this shirt right here. It just says PMP Club, nothing on the back. It is Kelly green, but you can go with any color. You can come up with any design. Uber Prints is the place to go. And fairly affordable. You can also get some hats, some cool hats. You can get some what I like to call toboggans, when really it's a beanie. But I have to say, this is probably the most comfortable beanie I've ever worn. I can wear it anywhere, and I gotta tell you, it is very comfortable, especially with my type of hair. Let me show y'all what type of hair I have. It is receding hairline and all that, but it helps you hide all that ugliness right there. There you go. There you go, right there. You got a fresh new beanie, a badass looking beanie, and yeah, gonna be an awesome time to wear this hat, you know. And then another product that I just received. Now, this is another podcast I go on. It's called the Gridiron 64 Podcast. Check this item out. So, my buddy Gabriel, he runs the GT Sports Network, which is gonna have the Gridiron 64 Podcast and This Is That on there. But he asked this lady if she can make this cup, this specific cup. It's kind of like a Yeti. It's an off-brand Yeti, but check this bad son of a gun out. You could get one of these right here from LNF Custom Design or LMF Custom Designs. You can check them out on Twitter or Instagram and Facebook. So this cup right here, it comes with a straw and a straw cleaner, an actual aluminum steel straw, so that way you can actually clean your straw properly instead of just rinsing it off in the dishwasher or something in that regard. Now, you can't put these in the dishwasher. You can't do a whole lot with these, but you can have the best drink in here, hot or cold. And the best feature to me, check this out real quick. I am going to show y'all what y'all can do with this. So, she somehow figured out a way to put a chip or something in here. I don't know what she actually did, but you see on the football helmet, there's a Spotify logo on there. You could go on your camera on your phone for Spotify, and you can actually scan it, and there'll be a song that you requested on there, and look at that, the song I wanted, Tens by Pantera. How badass is that? You know, and that's the type of product that I want to drink out of, you know. And shout out to those people that do make that. She is a skilled and very incredible person. So yeah, it is hand wash only. You can't microwave it. You can't put it in the dishwasher, and avoid extreme heat as possible. Do not soak it, but it is a very good cup to drink out of. And where to go on that is to you could go to Facebook or Instagram at LNF Custom Design on Facebook, or at LNF capital L capital F Custom Designs on Instagram. So I just wanted to bring that up on the podcast because it's to help other people out, expand their company out, and maybe later on help us out as a program. But let's talk, okay? Let's talk about something. All right, so we already know the draft is around the corner. There's going to be some idiots out there. There's going to be some guys that think they know stuff. I'm going to tell you firsthand, I'm probably going to get the majority of the draft, or possibly all of it, wrong. Probably the first 5 picks are probably going to be somewhat correct. You know, and I just don't see how people can get 100% accuracy in a mock draft at all. But I go to this app right here. on my phone. It's actually, if y'all can't tell, I'm trying to buy time. but I go to Mockout. That's what the app's called. So you can pick from NFL to college to whatever. You could switch to a different league from NBA. You could go to MLB. You can do all kinds of mock drafts on there. So this is where I go to do my mock drafts on here. So if you can't see it, oh well. It is on the Apple Store. It is on the Google Play Store, so you can go on there. You can also do a free agency and trade game if you wanted to on there. So I have one completed mock draft, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I think it's a cool app, and it actually. So I'll tell you this. It actually does do a it actually does your own mock draft on there as well. So, looks like we got somebody on the camera. It looks like it's Kaleb. Just waking up.
Hello, hello.
Woo! Hello. How's it going, bud?
1 second. Let me get my camera on 1 second.
Yeah, I was just buying some time while you're getting set up. So, hey, look at that pretty face, wearing that nice Pigskin Mafia podcast hat. Look at that. Did you
couldn't
shave?
find the new merch that you sent me? Couldn't find that shirt, man. I don't know where it went.
Oh no,
No worries.
no worries at all. Let me fix this view real quick. Let's go to speaker. How about that? That should work out a lot better, honestly. So, but yeah, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, living the dream. Just living life, and trying to work this OBS the way I wanted to.
Alright. Yeah, man. I've just been busy with work and the kid and family and all that stuff. Kind of been hard to. It's been a while since I've been on.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, good grief. All right, so folks, this is my first actual time doing a Zoom meeting through a. This is a disaster. So I have to try to get this right before we actually start up. I wanted to get things started before we chopped it up a bit, but good grief, it is not letting me want to do this. Give me a sec. Oh, it's because it's locked. That's right. Not every good podcast show is gonna have the perfect podcast. You know that, folks. So that's why you tune in to our show, so that way we can satisfy your needs. Just there we go. That looks a lot better, in my opinion. That looks a lot better. I'm looking also on YouTube as well. If you guys are wondering if I'm actually doing this on purpose, no, I'm not. I'm actually trying to get this right. Okay, so this is our first time on OBS, Kaleb. So just to let you know.
Okay, let's get it.
All right, so here's what we're going to talk about first. We're going to talk about teams without a first-round draft pick and what we think is going to happen with those teams. So I'm going to go ahead and name the 5. There's 5 teams that are without a draft pick. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the Denver Broncos. This team, they had the absolute worst, in my opinion, one of the worst years as a hype year for the Denver Broncos. You know what I mean? So I cannot believe that they are not willing to go with a first round draft pick. You know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on Denver?
Yeah, so you pretty much said it. Like, it was a very disappointing year. I mean, we all knew, or we knew it was going to be a tough division, but like we didn't think that they were going to drop the ball like they did, especially with coming in to that year was what we known to be a superstar quarterback in Russell Wilson. So it makes you wonder.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening with Denver, but it so far it doesn't look like they are interested in the first round at all, which is really odd, you know. But then again, I did read something earlier on PFF that, or actually no, the NFL draft, that this team right here, they actually cannot draft in the first round or the third round in 2024. I think you know who I'm talking about, the Miami Dolphins. Uh, Still going on with that investigation on whether the team violated the league policies pertaining to the integrity of the game. Now, this is a different situation with Miami. They really cannot draft in the first round. It's a punishment. Uh, Do you think Miami actually needs a first round draft pick though? What's your thoughts on Miami?
Yeah, no, man, I think they're see them needing a first round draft pick.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do some stuff if they have a second rounder. I'm sure with that. So I don't see them trading up really.
Yeah, I really don't see them trading up either. Well, they really can't trade up either, but Denver definitely needs to trade up for sure. At least for an offensive lineman. Come on now. But this next team, I am shocked that they don't have a first round draft pick right now in the draft order. It's the LA Rams. This is very shocking to me. I just found this out today. They're losing everybody. Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford's getting older. I mean, this is
Allen Robinson, that was just
Yeah.
a 1-year deal. Now he's with the Steelers. So
yeah, he's with the Steelers. So
he had his year was not the greatest either.
yeah, it was dog shit, to be honest.
He was supposed to be solid coming in, and it just did not follow through.
Yeah, it was disastrous in my opinion. I hate to criticize the Rams because it seems like not too long ago they've won a Super Bowl. Now they look like fucking dog shit. Let's be honest. They look like fucking dog shit as an organization, and it looks like Sean McVay doesn't know what he wants in life. I mean, it's just a complete shit show for LA, for the Rams anyway. The other LA team, they just need a couple pieces, and they're a contender, you know. So the Rams just need to wake the fuck up, you know. So that's one thing they need to do is wake the fuck up. But two more teams we got. The Cleveland Browns. This team was kind of, I don't want to say bad, but at the same time, they didn't have Deshaun Watson until week 11 or week whatever it was when they played against the Texans. You're a big fan of the Browns. How do you feel about the Browns not getting a first round draft pick? Do you think that will hurt them, or do you think it's a good strategy to just go with the flow here.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they got some talent there. Their defense was struggling more than most people would think and would like to see. Their offense played pretty dang well. Deshaun Watson, he didn't do too bad. He kind of was rusty. But for coming in, just if they have a good off season, I think they're going to be a pretty solid team.
Yeah, I think so too. I personally think they just need a couple more guys in the secondary since they are losing some guys in the secondary. So, but hey, to each to their own. You know, I really do think that Cleveland might have a shot this year if Lamar. By the way, Lamar looks like a fucking jackass right now because he wouldn't take the deal with Baltimore, and Jalen Hurts took that amazing deal. I think he did deserve it, but he's got a lot to prove still for Jalen Hurts. But last team is a team that we don't really know about the future of this organization at the quarterback position. They were close to the NFC champion, or they faced the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship. Probably one of the most impressive teams with a young quarterback in Brock Purdy, which right now it's looking like he's not going to be able to play for the entirety of the 2023 season. So it looks like Trey Lance is going to get a start in Week 1. It's the San Francisco 49ers. So, do you think Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers are biting themselves or shooting themselves in the foot by not being a first-round draft pick or having a first-round draft pick? Or what's your thoughts on them, man? Because I don't think it's a necessarily bad thing, but I do think that they need some guys to build around Brock Purdy a little more in the offensive line. Like Trent Williams, he's phenomenal. 99 overall, Madden 99 club. Congratulations to him last season. But yeah, I think they need more interior offensive linemen to help him out. What do you think?
Yeah, especially if you're gonna have Trey Lance coming in there. Just came off a bad injury, hurting his ankle, I believe it was last year, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right. So Trey Lance, if he puts everything together, man, he's gonna be a pretty solid quarterback, I think. And then if you look at it, Christian McCaffrey, he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
He's, I believe, 28 at this point, 27.
He's close. He's a little bit older.
So he's still young, dude.
He's a little bit older than us, but he's still. I will say this about Christian McCaffrey. He played excellent with San Francisco. I think it was good for him to leave Carolina. The results showed that he played a lot better with San Francisco. He's from that area, so it makes sense.
Crazy, dude.
It makes sense for him to play for the 49ers, and the scheme worked out for him. So I definitely like Christian McCaffrey with the 49ers. And I don't necessarily think the quarterback play has to do with the 49ers' success. If they could keep their defenders healthy and some of their old linemen healthy, this could be another run for the NFC Championship.
Yeah, especially with that scheme and everything they got going with those playmakers. I mean, they can do a lot of work.
Yeah. Especially with Kyle Shanahan in the helm.
And then that Juan Williams, man, Juwan, rather.
Yeah.
He's really came on the scene. I didn't think he was going to be very good. I thought he was stiff when he first came in.
Yeah.
He's got some speed. He's got solid hands and pretty good after the catch ability as well.
Yeah, for sure.
They have really proven to a lot of these offensive players, coming into the 49ers ever since their scheme and the coaches have been there.
Yeah.
They've been able to develop players such as guys like Jeff Wilson, the guy from North Texas, a guy that shouldn't even have been probably maybe in the league, but he played out to be pretty decent, even a backup running back. So
yeah, for sure. All right, so we're at that 25-minute mark. Now we're going to talk about team needs, man. Okay, so there's two teams I could think of right now that absolutely need almost every position, or if not all of the positions, even the kicker or punter at this point. And they're both in the NFC West. Los Angeles Rams, and this is according to PFF right here. They said all of them. They didn't say a certain position. They said all of them for the LA Rams. And then you have the Arizona Cardinals. Buda Baker just requested a trade. I mean, the Kyler Murray deal. They lost a lot of guys through releases and contract negotiations. They lost Cliff Kingsbury to Lincoln Riley to the USC Trojans as a senior offensive analyst, which is a fancy word for quarterback coach. I mean, for these two teams right here, you had a stacked roster for Arizona, and it went completely south. I mean, what the hell happened to Arizona, man? What do you think?
I'm not. Murray's a great player, and he can do some things that other quarterbacks can't do. But when he's playing frustrated, he does not play well.
Yeah, he plays like a fucking toddler. Have you noticed that? Like when he gets frustrated, he plays like a toddler. Like if you're playing a kid on Madden, right? And he's like 5 years old, and you're just whipping this kid's ass, and he just gets frustrated and starts throwing the controller. You've seen me do that at my house. You've seen me break controllers. That's kind of how I feel about Kyler Murray. Like he wants to break the football, but he can't. You know, and it's not knocking his size. It's really not, because we've seen guys like Doug Flutie, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees have balled out at that size. Hell, it might be Bryce Young in this draft. But
yeah, and that's what it shows you. Like culture and just the environment of play is a big factor before you can get on the football field. It don't matter if you got talent. It don't matter if you got good players and all this such. If there's an issue with the environment and the culture of the team, it's going to play a factor. And then the injuries, they dealt with injuries just like any other team, but they were one of the teams that definitely dealt with injuries last year. And I guess they just want to hit the reset button. Everybody wants to start over, man.
Yeah, and you know it's
a big issue.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy, man? Like, they were rated as the worst organization of 2023 this past season. The worst. And you know, organizations that I've said in the past, Houston, Cincinnati, Cleveland, have been shit shows. Apparently,
dude, you know what it's thinking? It reminds me of the Lions when they had like Joey Harrington, kind of that was that era.
Yeah,
their environment and their whole, it was just bad.
They
reminded me of like the Lions back in the day.
Yeah, just a bad vibe to be around, and you just don't want to be there, you know. And you got players requesting trades. You got players that are just like, "Fuck this, I'm out. If this coach is leaving, I'm out." We saw this coming from a mile away with Cliff Kingsbury being fired. You know, and you could go on the Hard Knocks season where the Arizona Cardinals had the Hard Knocks, and Buda Baker was a leader in that locker room. And he's requesting the trade? Something's off with Arizona. But, all right, we got a little bit off topic. Let's talk about team needs. Let's start off with Arizona, since we're going alphabetical order. the three positions that they actually need is edge rusher, interior defensive lineman, and cornerback. They do need a cornerback because they did lose a key player, Buda Baker, to being requested to trade. Well, actually, he's still with the team technically. He just needs to be traded, right? So
he's great in the slot, man. He does a lot against some tight ends. He might be not that, he's not very big, but he just plays the ball very well.
Yeah. And then you lose J.J. Watt. He retired. Interior defensive lineman, they were a fucking joke. So I think they want to build their defense finally. They, after all these years of just focusing on the offense and just not succeeding in the league with it, just trying to build around Kyler Murray, and it's just not working out. So Arizona, get on the defense. All right, next team we got Atlanta. They're also looking for an edge, interior defensive lineman, but they're looking for a wide receiver. Now, we saw Drake London from USC.
Heck yeah, they're looking for a wide receiver. You've got Scott Miller, who's, let's be honest, he's like a 4. He's playing the slot there, which is not bad if he's playing the slot. And you got a guy who's played decent, but he hasn't been a starter before, which is Matt Collins. And then you got a guy that hasn't really proven himself either, which is Drake London. So definitely need a wide receiver.
Yeah, and to be honest, man, like their leading receiver last year was the fucking rookie, Kyle Pitts. Like that should not happen in a pass league, especially if you're gonna have a passing quarterback. And I'm interested to see what happens with the Atlanta Falcons this season. I'm really intrigued to see what happens. Especially at the quarterback play. Will Desmond Ridder start or will Mariota take the helm? Who knows? So
Mariota's no longer there, bud.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was thinking of last season. I think
Eagle, bro.
Hey, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. But
Taylor Heineke.
Yes, Taylor Heineke. I don't know. That's a hard one to beat out right there, man. Fucking Taylor Heineke.
Dude, he always want to just get rid of him, and then he goes in there and shows out, and then you start him, and you're like, okay, let's start him now, and then he just kind of falls off.
Yeah.
It's just like Ryan Fitzpatrick all over again.
it's Fitzmagic Jr. Fucking Taylor Heineke. The Heineke, he's gonna be sponsored by Heineken beer. Just watch.
Yeah.
Lead Atlanta to a Super Bowl and then lose after a 28-3 lead. Fucking Atlanta, dude. All right, next team we're gonna talk about is a team that Lamar Jackson's probably not happy with, or really just regretting not taking the deal. And that's the Baltimore Ravens. They're looking for a corner and a wide receiver. They have Mark Andrews, which is also a tight end. But
they just got Odell.
They just got Odell, which is a...
Dude, it's such a, it's a splash, but at the same time, dude, I am not putting any my hope in Odell Beckham, bro.
Yeah, he's so injury prone. I see...
He's just all about, look at me. I've never been a fan of Odell Beckham, dude.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy for a whole season, he's going to be a top 5. Well, I don't know about top 5 anymore, but, he'll be a top 15 wide receiver at this point.
Yeah, top 5 back in his prime, but once he kept getting injured, it's deteriorated his play, in my opinion. But if he's...
I don't think he'll even get 1,000 yards, man, with this offense.
No, because...
Aguilar will probably have the same amount. Well, I bet you Rashad Bateman will be actually the best wide receiver here.
Oh,
since he's young,
yeah.
He plays well. They got even Devin Duvernay. So they got depth at the position for sure, but no really standouts at this point. Yeah,
and then you look at the cornerback position, they don't really have the best corners in the league. They have a very decent front seven and some decent safeties, but they don't have very good corners. So I think if they get a corner in this draft, I think they might have a good shot in this draft. But moving on to Buffalo. Now, this is interesting. Buffalo is looking for a offensive lineman, linebacker, and running back in this draft. So this is your forte now. Key running backs in this draft: Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean,
What's their draft? What are they at? What's their pick?
27th.
27. Oh, they're not. They're gonna miss out on probably.
Both of them.
I mean, there is quite a bit of depth at the running back position, but they're not gonna get Bijan. I don't think even Gibbs will make it that far. I think you could get to. I think. Well, actually, I lied. There's a possibility they could grab Gibbs, but
yeah.
they're definitely not gonna get Bijan. He's not gonna make past 15.
No.
I think it'll be 10 to 15 range.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, and to be honest, the linebacker spot this year isn't really, it's not really that appealing to me as far as like looking at who we need to get, So it's just one of those deals where, okay, we can wait until the 3rd or 4th round for a linebacker, and then you got offensive lineman. This is a key point or a key position that Buffalo actually needs for Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen with a very good offensive lineman, maybe an interior offensive lineman, would be tremendous. What do you think, man? Do you think they actually need an offensive lineman in the 1st round, possibly, or you thinking 2nd or 3rd?
Well, I mean, it's not a terrible offensive line. They have some depth as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're set at wide receiver. They even brought in Trent Sherfield, who played pretty dang well last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, their defense has played pretty dang solid. They're almost complete. I mean, I guess you could go get a running back. I don't think James Cook's that great, to be honest. I think he's just
Nah, he's mid.
Harris, but I guess he's dealt with some injuries.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It could be. I don't know where they go here.
I don't know either, man. But
they're set. I mean, just get some more depth at
maybe offensive lineman, dude, or possibly wide receiver. I mean, they could. It wouldn't hurt to go wide receiver in this draft for Buffalo either.
Yeah, because Keyshawn Johnson, I'm not sure who the heck that is really. He might play a little bit. Oh, they got Deontay Hardy from New Orleans. He's an explosive player. I like him.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, Khalil Shakir, I saw him play a little bit last year, but I don't know.
All right. Now we're going to move on to the team that traded up to get that number 1 spot. The Carolina Panthers. They just grabbed Andy Dalton this season. They traded DJ Moore, which it was kind of sad seeing DJ Moore leave Carolina the way it happened. And much respect to Carolina to send him off and say goodbye and all this, and pretty much made it look like they actually cared about him, and I respect that about Carolina. Do I think it's smart? Probably not, but we'll find out. But what Carolina's looking for in this draft, get ready. Quarterback and wide receiver. Now, we got some interesting wide receivers in this draft, but we have an interesting lineup of quarterbacks. And a lot of people are going to be very shocked at who I got at number 1. But tell me, what do you think Carolina actually needs in this 1st round? Or in this first overall pick?
You serious?
Yes.
Quarterback.
So, yeah, I agree.
Is there? I mean, mean, there's no way around it. What are you going to screw around and try to play one of these other guys? Like, what?
What are you gonna do with Andy Dalton? I mean, he's
he's
fucking washed.
He's going to come in and give you, with this offense as a whole, he's going to come in and give you maybe 4 or 5 wins.
Yeah.
Just because he's not getting a whole lot of help. You got, Chark, he just came over.
Yeah, DJ Chark.
He dealt with some injuries last year, but, we've seen what he could do. He played well as he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Thielen, I mean, he's looked good so far in the outside of, training and everything, but I don't trust that. Terrence Marshall, he's whatever. Yeah, so definitely a wide receiver I definitely would look at.
Yeah, for sure. I think if Carolina they end up going with a second round pick for wide receiver, I think that'd be nice. Or if they try to trade up to get like Quentin Johnston from TCU or Jordan Addison, which I think Jordan Addison's going to be off the board quick. Jackson Smith-Njigba, I think he's going to be off the board quick. Quentin Johnston, too, I think he's going to be off the board quick. There's a lot of good wide receivers in this draft. But I don't know if I trust Carolina's decision-making for a quarterback position. I really don't. And that's why... well, I'll just wait until the end for that. But let's go to the next team, Chicago. They actually need an interior defensive lineman, offensive tackle, and cornerback. They made a big fucking splash earlier in this offseason. Is Chicago going to be a good team next year? What do you think? What do you think?
I am interested to see how Deontay Foreman plays. He looks like he's going to be the starter.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert played well when there were some injuries due to what's his name? The guy that just got traded to the Lions. They were running back previously. Oh God.
David Montgomery?
There you go. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, David Montgomery. Yeah, it's so hard to keep up with the Bears sometimes. You almost forget that they're even relevant anymore. It's sad because they're one of the oldest teams in the NFL, if not the oldest, besides the Cardinals. But
imagine if Deontay Foreman. I know this is not no one really cares. But
yeah.
Imagine if Deontay Foreman comes in here, gives you a kind of like when Carlos Hyde's career seemed like it was gonna fall off.
Yeah.
Texans and got you 1,000 yards and 4.2 yards a carry. Played well. What if Deontay Foreman does that? That'd be really good for them, man. You wouldn't have to, because Deontay Foreman, he's played well with Carolina
and Tennessee.
And Tennessee, yeah. So and he's still kind of younger. He just had to stay focused when he was with the Texans. He did not stay focused. He was out of shape, fumbling the ball during practice, so they got rid of him. Now look at him. He's actually seemed like he cares. He's not going to be an explosive guy, but he's going to break tackles. He can do, as long as he protects the ball, he can be, I don't know, Stephen Ridley, let's be honest. Stephen Ridley played well until he...
That's a name I haven't heard in a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Stephen Ridley.
Started turning the ball over.
Holy
shit. Get kicked out.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But yeah, I think Chicago could make a run for the playoffs this coming up year, especially with Green Bay possibly trading Aaron Rodgers, which, let's be honest, I don't think it's going to fucking happen.
The upside with the wide receivers and the tight ends, there's a lot of upside there. But the only thing is, Chase Claypool, what is he going to give you, And then
he's mediocre.
He's been really solid here and there, but it's there's a lot of inconsistency with this Bears offense here.
The Bears remind me of they remind me of this team in college, right? They have a lot of upside, but they just continue to disappoint. And I think
they have a high floor but a very low ceiling. So,
and you know who I'm about to mention? This college team in College Station. That pissant college, Texas A&M. They remind me of the Chicago Bears because they have a high ceiling at the beginning of the year. I mean, look at the preseason polls. They have them at fucking tied 18th with another pissant team Florida, who had a shitty spring game, and they just go to 5-7 or 8-4. I mean, I'm sorry to go off topic, but Jimbo Fisher's a fucking idiot, and he needs to go from Texas A&M. And I have tried to warn A&M fans, why the hell do you want Jimbo Fisher from the very beginning? So, I'm going to leave it at that. But Chicago, I think they have a huge upside. I don't think that they are going to win the division. I think Minnesota might win the division next year, possibly Detroit. But they could slip in as a number 7 seed or a 6 seed. We'll see. But next team is Cincinnati.
Before you go anywhere,
Yeah.
why not Green Bay? Because we talked earlier, like, oh, no, I think Aaron Rodgers is staying.
I mean, what the fuck is going on with Green Bay right now? Like, they got rid of fucking everybody. Alan Lazard's gone. Fucking Devontae Adams is gone. Who does he have left?
Lewis. Who the hell is Mercedes Lewis?
Fucking bag of ass is what he is.
Just a guy that's been playing in the league since, I don't know, 2004.
The motherfucker looks like a sack of potatoes running on the fucking field. Have you seen him run?
He couldn't even make a damn a breeze of air miss if he wanted to, bro.
It reminds me of Martellus Bennett, dude. Fucking.
Now, granted, he is like old as dirt, bro.
Yeah.
But like,
I respect Mercedes Lewis. I mean,
at least
saying that he's a fat sack of shit, that's all a joke. He's actually a decent tight end. But
dude, to be honest with you, bro, like what's kept him on a team is just his blocking. He's played.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you got a run power like they have with those two running backs,
Yeah.
that's why he's been on a team.
Aaron Jones
he doesn't
and
really give you any receiving.
yeah, I mean, Mercedes Lewis. I liked him when he played for Jacksonville. Such a beautiful.
Yeah.
Those
When he
two.
can make a little bit of
Yeah.
When he was actually a decent receiving threat, he was a decent all-around tight end.
Yeah, I liked him in the red zone, dude. I liked him when he was in the red zone. Just
When they
those head-to-head.
all black, bro.
Duval. Hey, people in the 904 know.
Are we a Jacksonville fans? Oh.
No, I actually lived there for 3 fucking years, so I know what it's about. I know.
Dude,
I've been at that stadium.
Fan, man.
I've been at that
MJD
stadium.
all the way, baby. MJD all the way, baby.
Fred Taylor, baby. Let's go. David Garrard. Woo! But we're going way off topic tonight. But let's move on to the next team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Team needs they need is tight end, corner, and safety. They got rid of or they traded what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name for some reason. But anyway, they need a safety bad.
Yeah, they traded Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse Bates. Yeah.
Didn't he go to Atlanta, or am I tripping?
He did go to Atlanta. He did. He did go to Atlanta. But yeah, they need a spot to fill Jesse Bates's. They need a safety to fill Jesse Bates's spot right there, and then they need a tight end badly, so that way they can actually with a good receiving tight end, they could definitely hurt the secondary and the linebackers right there. A tight end that really interested me in this draft, probably the only tight end I have on my draft board, is Dalton Kincaid. I think he would make a good fit for Cincinnati, but we'll see what I got on my mock draft. I'm not too sure yet, but they definitely do need a tight end, but they need secondary too. So, but yeah. We're going to move on to your team, or to your second team. The Cleveland Browns, or the massage parlors. They need a defensive lineman and a wide receiver in this draft. Do you guys actually need a wide receiver, or is this PFF tripping?
No, I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's played well, but I still don't know if he's like a good enough number 2. We did bring in Marquise Goodwin, who's kind of old, but he played really well with the
49ers.
Really well with Seattle last year. I don't know if you noticed, but
He was with the Seahawks.
Yeah, man. So
he's like
Schwartz, he's okay. So you got 2 speed guys right there.
Yeah.
But yeah. We definitely need a wide receiver. Elijah Moore, he got traded over from the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I'd still take a.
Yeah.
I think we definitely need a wide receiver for sure.
I think it's a safe bet. And then defensive lineman, I think Cleveland would benefit a defensive lineman as well. Maybe trade up for a guy like Jalen Carter or. I mean, that
being a running back guy, man, I would also want to take a running back, maybe third round.
Yeah, third down back. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
These other guys, Jerome Ford, I mean, these guys, they're not that great. I don't think so.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
I don't think Hunt has got picked up yet. So.
Yeah. Well, now we're gonna go to our favorite team here. I have my Stephon Diggs jersey out. The Dallas Cowboys. What the fuck do we need, according to PFF? Shows that we need a running back and an interior defensive lineman. I absolutely agree, but I think we could add a little bit more depth into the interior offensive lineman and possibly the linebackers, the interior linebacker core. But Trakes has got Jahmyr Gibbs going to Dallas. Would you mind Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson in the first round for Dallas if they decide to trade up?
Well, yeah, Gibbs would be nice, man. He's a really good scat back for sure.
Yeah. I mean, imagine having either one of those backs, Robinson and fucking Jahmyr Gibbs with Tony Pollard, man. Like, that fucking Tony offense.
Pollard, he's pretty much a balanced back at this point. He was a receiving kind of fast back, but now he's pretty much a balanced back. So having you get a speed guy or you get like a more built guy that's going to get those hard, tough yards like Zeke did a pretty good job last year doing.
Yeah.
You could go like a Zach Charbonnet. So
Zach Charbonnet, yeah, he's another good one. Former Michigan Wolverine, transferred over to UCLA. I actually like that, to be honest. Zach Charbonnet.
Or even Dwayne McBride would be interesting.
Ooh, even yeah.
Yeah, because Devon Arcane. I guess it just.
Devin Achane. Devin Achane from Texas A&M.
Yeah, he's so fast, but I don't know. I just don't. I don't know.
But you gotta look at it this way too. A&M did not have the best offense for Devin Achane, so he pretty much had to work his yards in that offense too. So I could definitely see Devin Achane being in the conversation or in the mix, but I don't consider him a first round, maybe a second or early third round for Devin Achane. But interior defensive lineman, I mean, that's another hole that we need to be filled right there for Dallas, So I absolutely agree with PFF with this year's mock draft or this year's team needs for Dallas.
Definitely our O-line depth looks sus.
Yes, for sure.
Would not hurt to get O-line somewhere in the second, third round for sure.
Yeah, but if Bijan Robinson is fucking available,
you're taking him. Even though
I don't take him.
I love the pick, but at the same time, I don't think it's the smartest pick. I feel like we're just gonna end up doing the same thing what we did with Zeke and everything.
Well, that would be Mike McCarthy's fault. So
Because it's proven that running backs don't really win you games, man.
they not in today's NFL for sure.
It's straight up proven. Like, yeah, maybe 2005 and lower, but no.
I would lean more towards late '80s, early '90s and below. Back when Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton were. What the fuck? But that was random. But yeah. So yeah, back when Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton and Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders would just
Who's
fucking.
Barry Sanders?
I fucking hate you right now. But we're gonna move on to the next team. The Denver Broncos. PFF only has them listed as 2 positions. Do you think they need more positions, or do you think?
Yeah, I think they need a quarterback.
Damn. They need a whole.
Trade. Dude, if they get another bad season like they had with the quarterback play, which makes no damn sense, then I would trade Russell Wilson.
I would just release. Fuck that. I would just release him.
Oh, God, no one's going to want that Either way, you're freaking screwed, dude.
Yeah, just fucking pay him the money and release him. Fuck that.
It makes me wonder, though, if it's really him just regressed so much, but I don't know, man. I feel like he was just a shell of himself. Oh, my God.
Yeah, for sure.
He cleaned it up a little bit, but wow.
Nah, I would say that. But linebacker and wide receiver is what PFF has. And they do have a new coach, Sean Payton, replacing Nathaniel Hackett, which he's a fucking duck. So, or he's a fucking quack, actually. You think it would help out Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy out a little bit for Denver to?
I don't know. I honestly think they're good at wide receiver. They've had some injuries, like throughout the whole wide receiver core, but you got KJ Hamler. You got
KJ Hamler.
Kendall Hinton, who seems interesting. You got Marquez Callaway, who's kind of interesting. Came over from New Orleans. Cortland Sutton, man, he's really solid if he can just play out the whole year.
Yeah.
Tim Patrick has even made some nice contested catches.
Yeah.
He's your separator. They got a good wide receiver group here. It's just the fact that maybe they don't like their depth as much. Maybe
the depth, or
maybe.
Yeah, I think it's got to do with depth. And honestly, I think
I would go wide receiver. I would just kind of stack up on O-line. I just don't look.
O-line
doesn't look very good to me.
But they also have linebacker here. This is very interesting.
Who cares about linebacker? What do you? Like,
There's not very.
Alex Singleton. They're average dudes, but like those don't move the needle really.
Yeah,
Aaron
I'm not.
Browning, I'm not sure.
I'm not really appealed to the linebacker spot this year, man. It's just one of those deals. Like, I'm just like, why do we have this position in the draft so early? You know. So we're gonna move on from Denver to those kneecap biting Detroit City, Motor City Thundercats, the Detroit Lions. What does PFF say they need? Interior defensive lineman, safety, and wide receiver. Now, I think the interior defensive lineman would be a big help. I think a safety would be a big help. Wide receiver, I think losing DJ Chark is a reason why PFF has wide receiver listed. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they brought back Marvin Jones, who's
Yeah.
just gonna be backup at this point. I mean, Cephas, Quintez Cephas, whatever.
Yeah.
Khalif Raymond, no, he's not cutting it. You know, St. Brown, he's great. He's a really good slot guy, but yeah, he's going to be that slot guy. I mean, he's in his role, and he's going to do really well at it. Josh Reynolds, he's more of a backup. He's played well, but Jameis Williams, he's kind of up and down. We don't really see that consistency there. Definitely one of our receiver for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
That running back, though. They got names. Montgomery, Swift. That's going to be a nice cool combo right there.
That's gonna be a dangerous
guy.
combination right there.
It's gonna be fun.
And I like Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions, man. I
We need a
mean,
quarterback, man. Jared Goff played well last year, but he just is not.
he's not.
The ceiling is reach, bro. The ceiling is reach.
Yeah, I agree. Next team is there brothers in the NFC North or
Them Bears.
no, the Green Bay
Or-
Packers.
Duh.
Fuck. We already talked about the Bears. But Green Bay has said they need a tight end, a wide receiver, and a safety.
Yeah, they definitely need a tight end. Other than they didn't really have one last year either. So that's what's the big point.
Yeah, they need wide receivers too. They've been needing wide receivers since fucking Donald Driver was around.
Yeah, so Christian Watson's actually good. I can eat my words.
Yeah,
I thought
I'm.
he was just a average guy. I think he's actually going to be good. Yeah, they need wide receiver for sure, dude. They only got 5 wide receivers on the damn team.
Yeah, they just got rid of Alan Lazard, who is.
I got a Samori Torre. Not really sure who that is, to be honest with you, but he played last year.
He
They
got.
Romeo Dobbs, he's not good. Sorry. And then they got Jeff Cotton and Bo Melton. Wow, oh god, yeah, they need 2 wide receivers. The whole draft might as well be the whole wide receiver group, man.
They might as
stack wide receiver class. So.
fuck that. They might as well just run the fucking wing T, bro. They just need. They need to run the fucking. They need to run the fucking the option run. They need to run the Navy and Army playbook, dude.
Oh, and they got Danny Etling, dude. He could run that shit. Oh yes, Danny Etling, baby. LSU boy.
Go Tigers.
Garbage, bro. He's garbage. Bro, these quarterbacks are ass. You got to get Aaron Rodgers out of here, and then they're going to be completely out of there.
Yeah, Jordan Love. Fuck yeah.
They got running backs, and that's it.
That's why I said they need to run the wing T or the fucking wishbone. Go back
I
to.
feel sorry for Christian Watson. He might be screwed.
Yeah.
I don't think Jordan Love's going to be able to. I don't know. I need to see more play from Jordan Love, but as of right now, I don't think he's the deal.
Yeah, Gutekunst needs to figure something out over there. Next team we're going to talk about is a second team in the draft, the Houston Texans. What do they need? Well, I'll give it to you. Quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive lineman, according to PFF. Quarterback's the answer to Houston's problem. But there's a rumor going around that they're willing to trade right now because they really aren't that interested in C.J. Stroud if Bryce Young gets picked up in the first pick. So if they end up trading that second pick, I mean, this would be huge. And there's rumors of fucking Indianapolis trading with Houston to get to that spot because they're not interested in C.J. Stroud. The Texans are the most confusing organization in the history of the league, and they haven't been around that long. They've been around for 21 years.
Yeah, since 2001?
2002. That's 21 years.
Sure?
Yes. It's 2023. 2002.
Nah, dude, because I remember playing Madden 02, and that was in their first year. And that would be 2001.
No. 2002, bro. That was their inaugural year. But,
Hold on.
wow. It looks like
I gotta look this up.
looks like someone hasn't done their football history.
There's no way. What the?
Either way, they haven't been in the league long enough to be this confusing. I mean, do you want a fucking quarterback or do you want to stick with Davis Mills? That's the fucking question that every Texans fan that I talk to is asking me. And there's rumors that they might just go with Will Levis. The fucking mayonnaise and coffee kid. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I like that.
No, I hate
know.
that. But I would either take Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud if given the opportunity, you know. But there's rumors saying that Houston's willing to trade with a divisional rival. That's unheard of.
Yeah. If you're going to get a quarterback right now, you're going to want a guy that's more pro-ready, like those two guys, Stroud and Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Hell, I think Bryce Young, honestly, would be the best pick just because
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
feel like he's the smartest quarterback of being the most aware.
Yes.
He'll be able to handle that. Either way, it's a crappy situation for any of those guys, but, I think he would be able to handle it a lot more easier than the others.
Yeah, I mean, the kid comes from a school in California called Mater Day. They know nothing but championships over there. Then he goes to Alabama with Nick Saban. Take for granted, they didn't win a national championship, but they have a SEC championship with Bryce Young. And I will say Bill O'Brien is the cause of every bit of Bryce Young not getting a chance at a national title. So, yeah, that's that's ironic. I just realized that Bill O'Brien was offensive.
They're going to go the Madden route and just get Anthony Richardson.
God damn, you know that'd be fucking crazy if that happened. If I saw Texans draft Anthony Richardson, I would feel so sorry for the Texans fans. They don't deserve this ridicule. They don't. Ever since they lost to the Chiefs, when they were up big against the Chiefs and then they let them come back and beat them 51-31 in that playoff game, the Texans have been shit. Have you noticed that? Like it's been a paradigm shift for the Texans. So they actually need a decent quarterback, or not decent, a fucking good quarterback like C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, the best option. But like you said, they might go the Madden route. I think Carolina's going to go the Madden route too, but we'll see. Next team we're going to talk about, the team that we were just talking about that could possibly be trading up due to the Texans not wanting C.J. Stroud, is the Indianapolis Colts. They are wanting or PFF is saying they need a quarterback, offensive lineman, and corner. Very interesting for Indianapolis. They did lose Stephon Gilmore, so that is a need. It's not the Stephon Gilmore who picked off has had Super Bowl rings with the Patriots. It's the Stephon Gilmore of old. Or Stephon Gilmore that's out of prime, you know. So it's not necessarily a big loss, but at the same time, he was a big playmaker.
Right.
Offensive line, I do think they needed an offensive line. They were fucking horrendous in the beginning of the season and the end of the season.
When did they get Gardner Minshew?
Oh, this season? Yeah, so Gardner Minshew,
Nick Foles, and Sam Ehlinger. Oh my God.
Yeah, out of all those quarterbacks, I would pick Sam Ehlinger. That's just me. Call it biased. I don't give a fuck.
I'd go Gardner, but I just don't. I just can't. This is just weird seeing him in a Colts uniform. What the heck?
Yeah, it's ugly. It's very ugly. But
I liked him in Philly as a backup.
Dude. Good. And yeah, I liked him as a Eagle too. But
he's a great backup because he comes in, good energy.
Yeah.
He might throw a pick here and there. He's not going to throw for 300 yards every game, but he'll throw a pick every now and then. But he's going to also go try to win you games. I like Gardner.
He's got a lot of guts, and he did come from the Mike Leach tree, so that's one of those things. But yeah, Indianapolis does need an offensive lineman. They were fucking horrendous, as I said earlier. And they do need a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, wasn't Quentin Nelson hurt all last year, or was that the year before?
I think that was this year, bro. But, yeah. Indianapolis, shit.
Ugh, God, yeah, their wide receiver group is kind of...
Shit. T.Y. Hilton's not even there.
Michael Pittman, he's a good number 2. Alec Pierce, I'm not even going to cap, bro.
I will say this. Reggie Wayne...
Who was this Mormon kid, man?
What?
You know, I've never seen Alec Pierce in my life.
Alec Pierce?
Bro.
He's semi-decent.
He's their starter right now. I mean, if you look at the backups, though, I don't even know who the heck these guys are. I mean, I've heard of, I know Ashton Dolan.
Yeah.
Vincent Smith, he's just whatever. Yeah, they need wide receivers, bro. Their running backs are pretty solid. They got some guys here.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jonathan Taylor goes down, good luck. I don't know about Zach.
Fuck.
He's kind of shot the bed.
Yeah, that's fucked. But I do like them getting a quarterback first, though. I really do.
All I know is that they go in with this offense next year, they're going to win 2 games.
You're not lying. I think they need a better offensive lineman over wide receivers, though. That's just my opinion. I think their offensive linemen were...
Definitely getting a quarterback first round for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're moving on to their divisional rivals. Oh, my God. 3 straight divisional rivals. Jacksonville. They need a corner, an offensive lineman, and a running back. So this is where I think Devin A-Chain would be a good fit right here. Jacksonville.
Running back?
Yeah.
They got names. They got my boy Dearness.
Yeah, they got Dearness and Travis.
Etienne. They got some explosive guys. I mean, none of them are like pronoun running backs, but let's be honest, give them some shots.
I think they're gonna try to move Travis Etienne as a slot, though. That's the way it was looking.
What, and then Christian Kirk? What the hell is he gonna go? He's playing slot.
As another slot, like kind of use him as a utility, like a utility back.
Like Tavon Austin.
Not like I wouldn't say Tavon. I wouldn't say like Tavon Austin. Kind of like how my dad ran our offense, sort of, where we had the fullback and either one of the slots motions.
Yeah, that was me.
Or me. Fucker.
I was the reverse guy. What do you mean? I was like one of the
I was the dive guy. I was the one taking the contact. So.
What the hell?
But anyway, yeah, so Jacksonville does need a corner. I do think that there's some pretty good prospects at corner, like Joey Porter Jr., Cam Smith from South Carolina.
Oof, yeah, they need corner. Jeez.
Deontay Banks would be a good fit over there.
Golly.
Devin
secondary suspect.
Yeah, Devin Witherspoon would be a good fit over there from Illinois. But yeah, that's
look horrible, honestly.
Yeah, that's probably their best fit or their first pick right there is gonna be
their
a corner.
offense looks better than their defense right now.
I agree. So I don't think a corner would or a running back would be the best number one or the first round draft pick. I think a corner would be the safest pick. If they want to go with offensive linemen, they can go for it. But I would just go ahead and be aggressive with the corner. Go snatch up a corner because they have some decent corners over there. But we're going to move on to the Super Bowl champs, bud. The Kansas City Chiefs. The team needs offensive tackle, edge rusher, wide receiver. I mean, they don't have Smith-Schuster anymore. They did bring in
pretty good last year.
They did bring in some offensive tackle. They did bring back some offensive tackles and some O linemen.
They need a wide receiver. They got a bunch of just average guys.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney might be the best guy over there, but
yeah,
he's one of those players you can't trust to stay in.
Yeah.
Off-field issues or maybe even injuries. I mean, He played well last year.
I think he's kind of mid in some way, but then you got edge rusher for Kansas City. They Frank Clark. Yeah, Frank Clark's a big loss for that defense. So getting an edge rusher wouldn't be a bad idea. We already know Will Anderson's going to be off the board quick. So that leaves Tyree Wilson. They could trade up for Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech. He was a fucking force. Nolan Smith. You could go for Nolan Smith. There's a lot of good edge rushers in this draft. And then you got Lucas Van Ness from Iowa. I like this kid right here. He's pretty talented. But yeah, I think Kansas City they're gonna be pretty decent next year, or not decent. They're probably gonna make another run for that Super Bowl. So we'll see about that. Next team we're gonna talk about is their division rivals, the Vegas Raiders. Raiders. They have a quarterback, offensive lineman, and corner on the board for PFF. I don't know why they got rid of Derek Carr. They shouldn't have never gotten rid of Derek Carr from the get-go.
I mean, you really didn't get better there. You just kind of even lined it.
Yeah.
And Jimmy G, man, he's just injury prone. He seems like he's always injured.
Yeah, and I think that's a downgrade from Derek Carr, in my opinion. Like, it's not knocking Jimmy G. Like, he's not a bad quarterback. I just think that you're risking it with a injury-prone quarterback right there. You know, he makes very smart decisions. It's just he just gets hurt a lot, you know, and I don't want to risk my quarterback getting hurt. And Derek Carr is a good example of not getting injured, you know. So that being said, they do need a better offensive line. I think their offensive line is dog shit. So if the Raiders can get a hold of an offensive lineman, that would be great. But I do think they are going to stay with Jimmy G for sure. If they don't, they might have a guy for competition for him. Probably Anthony Richardson or Will Levis, or it may be C.J. Stroud because people see something wrong with him, I guess. It happens in the draft. People drop. So, yeah. And then at cornerback, they need a corner, according to PFF. Like I said earlier, Deontay Banks, Cam Smith, Kilo Ring from Georgia would be a good fit. I don't know, man. This Raiders team, they were overhyped. Let's be honest. They were way hyped. We hyped them up, and we fucking bombarded. So
yeah, they were so up and down. It was crazy.
Yeah, I fucking could not believe it. But we're going to move on to the Chargers now. They need an interior defensive lineman, wide receiver, and edge rusher. So I like this Chargers team. I think they're almost there. They got the puzzle pieces there. They just need to finish. And they need guys that can get around the edge. They need guys that can fill the holes in the interior defensive lineman. But wide receivers, I don't know about wide receivers, man. Like, I don't know if they actually do need wide receivers. What do you think?
I don't know either because, Joshua Palmer, he's okay. I think, Keenan Allen, well, actually, yeah. No, I think this is true because, you got some good names. Keenan Allen, he's still good. Mike Williams is good, really good, actually. He's really been going up.
Is it because of injury prones?
That, and they only have 6 on the roster right now, and you got 2 of the backups behind those that haven't really had any names there. So
yeah, that makes sense. All right, so now let's go to their brethren, the LA Rams. What does PFF say they need? All of them. Literally, it says all of them. If you go on PFF.com and you type in team needs, and it shows the list of teams. This is according to PFF, by the way, guys. It literally says all of them because they traded everybody. Jalen Ramsey, and then you have Matthew Stafford, who's injury prone.
And funny thing is, Matthew Stafford is the only QB on the roster right now.
God damn, are you serious?
Where they only have him, and then the running back position only has 3 guys, which you would like to have when they're going into camp, about 4 or 5.
What the fuck?
Wide receiver, they have 6 when you want to have about 8.
Oh my
They have Tutu
God.
Atwell on the bench, and then 2 other guys I've never heard of. Van Jefferson's pretty solid.
Bring in Tyrod Taylor. Fuck.
Cooper Kupp, obviously great. Ben Charbonnet, yeah, I don't like him really. He shouldn't be starting. So God bless America.
Honestly, they need to trade Cooper Kupp for a first-round draft pick.
Who is running the office right now? Are they just asleep? What's going on over there, bro?
Fucking Joe Biden's running that offense.
Super Bowl, was it 2 years ago?
Huh?
Was it 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl?
Yes. Yes.
They're so hungover like a motherfucker.
Bro,
Did
it's
at
fucking...
least go to the playoffs, at least, like be a damn dynasty for once, or are they gonna just be a one-hit wonder, dude? Come on.
every year.
No one's gonna ever live up to the Patriots when they had the dynasty, bro.
Hey,
They'll
I'm
always
gonna
make
answer
it
your
to the
question. I'm gonna answer your question though. Who's running that offense? You asked.
playoffs. Who's running the office?
Joe Biden. He has to be running that LA Rams offense. There's just no ifs, ands, and buts. And I just don't understand the Rams. I really don't. They went from the mountaintop to the fucking depths of hell. Like, I just don't fucking get it. They are fucked. But we're gonna move on to the Miami Dolphins. Now, this team, they cannot make a first round draft pick. They are being punished due to an investigation that is still going on, apparently. All they need is an offensive lineman and tight end, according to PFF. I mean, they're not wrong. Fucking Tua's brains are splattered all over Cincinnati.
Ooh, they just brought in Chosen Anderson. Ooh, I can't wait to watch the Chosen one.
What, fucking shitbird Anderson? He's a goddamn shitbird. That's what he is.
So they got depth at the position, and their starters are really solid.
You know, Robbie Anderson is just going to be watching from the sidelines.
Oh shit, I forgot though, bro. They
What?
don't have Gesicki. Where did he go?
Yeah, he went to the Patriots.
Typical.
Yeah, he went to the Patriots.
Running back's not a need. Did they not say that? They have depth at the running back, but you have injury-prone ass speedster Mostert.
Yeah, they
Injury-prone ass Jeff Wilson.
they just have
Yeah.
offensive linemen and tight
Ron
end.
Ahmad, who I really don't even know much. He's all right at it. Miles Gaskin, who is fucking XFL running back.
Jeez.
Where the hell? They don't need a running back? What
No.
about quarterback? They have Tua Tagovailoa. Needs to be wearing 2 helmets. Let's be honest.
No, that
Mike White, who is-
motherfucker needs to wear a helmet cap. Those fucking helmet caps that they wear for practice, he needs those.
Dude, like, I'd be looking at QB. Like, get a backup at least. Like, you're comfortable with Mike White, and you're comfortable with Skylar Thompson?
I mean, Skylar Thompson can ball when he's in the game. Like,
Oh, my God.
he's all right.
Get me out of here.
But, yeah,
This is not a Super Bowl team, bro.
it isn't. Let's be
Not
honest.
with these fucking quarterback, bro.
Bro, they fucking hype this team up every year. They get a fucking superstar wide receiver, a fucking superstar corner. Like,
Yeah, so...
one
I don't
fucking
see-
player, and Miami's all of a sudden a fucking contender for the AFC East. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, their defense, don't get me wrong, their defense, I think they look solid. They're young,
Yeah.
dumb, and full of cum. Like, they're ready to go.
Hey, man, children watch this shit. I'm just kidding. No, they don't.
Seriously?
No.
Out of our 45 subs?
For 45 subs?
I don't know.
Oh, God. But anyway,
Tonight.
let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings, who I think could run the NFC North. They need a wide receiver because Adam Thielen is now with the Carolina Panthers.
Are you sure, Jalen Reagor, man? What you mean?
They need a cornerback because Patrick Peterson's no longer there.
Which he was just average, so he's not the Patrick Peterson anymore.
No, not at all. And then they need a linebacker because Kendricks is gone now. So,
ooh, that's a big hole.
Yeah, very big hole. And there's not very good linebackers I could think of. The only one
is Brian Asamoah. Never heard of this guy, but I bet you he's solid.
Yeah.
He's not what they're looking for yet.
But here's my thing. I think DeMarvion Overshown from Texas could fit there pretty well.
Hey.
Demo. I like that. I like him in a Vikings uniform. I really do. I'd much rather have him in a Cowboys uniform. Don't get me wrong.
You think he's gonna be ready for that cold weather though?
Hey. That's a good question.
They're inside. They're inside though.
Hey, Skull! That's all he's got to worry about.
Cold weather playing in the division.
Hey, they don't give a shit over there. Them Vikings fans, they don't care. They'll wear fucking battle axes with fucking squirrel fucking skin covering their privates. I don't know. They're fucking weird over there, man. And they have one saying, Skull. But I respect it. So, next team we're going to talk about is Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Now, they need an offensive tackle, a corner, and a wide receiver. Or actually, I'm sorry. They need a cornerback. Sorry, I wrote smaller as I wrote through this page. Offensive tackle is a must. They need to protect Mac Jones at all costs if they're going to keep him as a franchise quarterback. A cornerback, they don't really have no name, or they have no name corners, but this Patriots team is known to be an island of misfit toys, you know? Like, they get pawned off to the Patriots and they become fucking superstars, you know? But that was during the Brady.
It's been since Brady's last year, and they're just giving him here, guys.
Yeah, like
Brady's like, how am I supposed to work with this shit?
Yeah, and then they need linebacker or they need a wide receiver too. So it would be a smart choice.
Yeah, they need some depth there for sure. Devontae Parker, decent. He's like a good number 2.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Smith-Schuster, he's like a good number 2. Kendrick Bourne,
They need a guy like Quentin Johnston.
Or got no number 1 though. None of those guys are gonna be that guy really.
Yeah.
Maybe Juju, but I don't know. I think we all know what Juju is at this point. He's a good number 2.
He's definitely a good number 2. I have to admit he is a good number 2. As much as of a shitbird he is a good number 2. Now we move on to New Orleans. Now this team is going to be interesting right here. We have outside linebacker and interior defensive lineman. So they're going to... I don't know what they're saying. I'm fucking...
Oh, sorry. Drew Brees, sorry. Madden 11, sorry.
I was just about to say that. But New Orleans, they need an outside linebacker and interior defensive lineman. I absolutely agree. They fucking sucked last year in the interior run defense.
Oh yeah, they were child's play.
Yeah. I think this offseason was a good offseason for the Saints though. They did get
when you have an interior lineman named Emily Prince, yeah, you're gonna be pushed over. Jesus. What's the
Yeah.
deal with this guy? I never even heard of this guy. Yep. Emily Prince. You got to deal with that. Yeah, he looks like a nice guy. I wouldn't have him out by DT.
Yeah. But yeah, outside linebacker would be a good spot to go for the first round for the Saints too.
Oh, Jordan Cameron's still here. I thought he was going to get shipped.
No, he's still there. So I think the
He's
Saints.
old though, man.
Yeah, but I still think that the Saints still have a shot at the NFC South division. It's just how's Tampa Bay gonna do and how's Carolina gonna do next season? How's Atlanta gonna do next season?
Their running back room is solid.
Yeah, Alvin
And their
Kamara.
QB room, dude.
Alvin
The QB
Kamara.
room is solid too. Got two
Jamal Williams.
starters in Winston. Yeah.
And
I mean, this is not a bad group.
I like them as a very sneaky playoff team.
They
I
have
think
a lot of depth at positions. Their running back is solid, but their wide receiver group is pretty. I mean, is Michael Thomas going to play a whole season this year?
yeah, if he doesn't stay injured, you know.
Yeah.
And Derek Carr's there too. Remember that. So.
Oh, and dang, he's 30 years old at this point. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, just a sad career for him.
Yeah. Sad. Next team we're gonna move on to is the New York Giants. Now, this team, according to PFF, they need a cornerback, wide receiver, and safety. But there's a rumor that they could be going after quarterback in this draft.
Get out of here, bro. They're not going for quarterback.
I don't know why this is a rumor. I think it's a stupid ass rumor. Despite even with the fact that they just paid Daniel Jones, they paid him a good amount of money to stay. So it would be stupid to go for a quarterback, but they do.
They may go for one in the fourth round or fifth round
as a backup. Come on now. I mean,
yeah.
There's no reason for Daniel Jones to worry about his job.
Oh, they brought in Paris Campbell. That's something I missed in the offseason.
Yeah, they did.
And they got a lot of depth at wide receiver. Wando Robinson,
Yeah.
Isaiah Hodgins from Buffalo, Sterling Shepard, Slayton, Crowder. Dude, this wide receiver group is like really solid when it comes to depth.
Yeah. I think they need more secondary than wide receiver, PFF. So that's pretty safe to say. Now we're going to move on to the New York Jets. This team. This team right here. They, according to PFF, they need an offensive tackle. And guess what? A fucking quarterback.
Wait, they got Zach Wilson now. He's the answer. He's going to be the franchise QB, right?
Oh, God. Nobody knows what the Jets are going to do. It's either they're going to get Aaron Rodgers or they're not. So
they got Tim Boyle. They're going to get Aaron Rodgers, bro. Tim Boyle worked with Aaron Rodgers. They're going to get Aaron Rodgers. Are you serious?
I don't think they're getting Aaron Rodgers.
Tim Boyle is the guy that talks to Aaron Rodgers in the huddle. You got it, buddy.
I don't think he's.
Right now.
I don't think he's going. I think
Zach
he's.
Wilson is going to be the guy left out. Like, come on.
I think he's gonna troll. I think he's trolling the Jets right now. Get this guy. Get this guy. Waste your money. Waste your money. Why? Because it's fucking entertaining.
Dude, they definitely wasted their money on Alan Lazard.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Alan Lazard. Dude, he got paid how much? Like $40 million?
Something like that. Just to be a fucking overrated wide receiver? Yeah. Ridiculous.
Hey, one second, bud.
Mm-hmm.
1 second.
You're good. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna give my thoughts on the Jets real quick. I just don't know with the Jets right now. This whole Aaron Rodgers and New York Jets thing, it would have been done a long time ago, I felt like. But like I said, I think he's clowning them right now. I genuinely think he is clowning them. And he is just, he is making them spend unnecessary money to just tell them, I'm not really that interested. I'm really not that interested in playing for the Jets. That's an ugly ass green color. I'm gonna stick with the green and gold. I don't know. I just don't see Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. If he does go to the Jets, commend the Jets for having the patience to deal with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is just insane. This whole ordeal with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets right now is just fucking insane. But I'm going to go ahead and move on. We're probably going to keep going. Kaleb will be back here shortly. But we got the Philadelphia Eagles. They need an edge rusher, what the fuck does that say? I'm going to say a defensive back. That's what I wrote down, it looks like. And an interior offensive lineman. I think they need more of an edge rusher than anything. They definitely need a edge rusher for sure. It's just one of those things that Philadelphia, they have the opportunity to build a fucking fantastic team. They could go after Bijan Robinson. The experts say, Schrags say, that he is going to go to Philadelphia, but LaDainian Tomlinson brought in a good point that he would not fit there very well. And it's a great thought to have. Like, think about it. If he goes to Philadelphia, he's going to be sharing carries. But Bijan Robinson is that type of back that the more carries he has, the better he does better in the game. And it's been proven, I mean, look at the TCU game. He didn't have nearly as much carries as he did against Oklahoma or maybe Alabama or other teams that he's ran against, Texas Tech, he ran his tail off in that game. Had about 20 plus carries in that game. He did fumble, but that was a one-time thing that he did in his entire in the entire season. He only fumbled once, and that was a freak accident. But he would not fit well with Philadelphia, and I have to agree with LaDainian Tomlinson, man. But having an edge rusher wouldn't be a bad idea for Philadelphia. Having somebody maybe trade up for Will Anderson if you can, but I don't think it's possible because Arizona's going to be nipping at the bit for an edge rusher like Will Anderson. And then you got Nolan Smith possibly there for the grab. So imagine Nolan Smith going to Philadelphia and just wrecking shop, man. I mean, I can see it. And interior offensive lineman, I don't necessarily think they actually need it. I think their offensive line's pretty damn good as it is. But it wouldn't hurt to change it to depth. But let's move on to Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about their offensive line and cornerback position. According to PFF, they need a offensive line and cornerback, which I absolutely agree. Their cornerback play was shit. Their offensive line play was horrendous. Najee Harris, he's a freak of nature. But that offensive line needs to help him out. So, absolutely agree with that. Next, we're going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers. According to PFF, they need a cornerback, linebacker, and offensive lineman. They probably need a quarterback too because fucking Brock Purdy is probably not going to play for the rest of the season. And Trey Lance, to me, he's hit his ceiling, I think. But I don't know. I like the fact that they're gonna try to go aggressive with defense here for San Francisco, but they don't have a first round draft pick, so why does it matter? So offensive lineman, they could add in offensive lineman on there, so that would be good for them. Next, we'll talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Edge rusher, interior offensive lineman, cornerback, and wide receiver. Yes, and I heard that they could possibly go after Anthony Richardson for him to learn the ropes from Geno Smith. And that wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea if Anthony Richardson wasn't such dog shit. And I don't know. I just don't see Seattle going after a fucking quarterback right now. And then you got interior offensive lineman. I like that. Edge rusher, they could go, like I said, Tyree Wilson, if he's not drafted too early. They could go for Nolan Smith. And then they could go for a wide receiver or a corner later on in the draft. They have 2 first-round draft picks, so why not? So, now to Tampa Bay, where Tom Brady is officially no more. And there's a new head man there. It's Baker Mayfield. But they are saying they need a quarterback and an offensive tackle, where they have lost a lot of people during the offseason. I think Tampa Bay needs a lot of things, but a quarterback wouldn't help Tampa Bay, or it wouldn't hurt to get a quarterback for Tampa Bay, because Baker Mayfield's probably hit his ceiling as of late. But I mean, it's just one of those deals where you have to realize that Tampa Bay is probably in a rebuild year next year. Let's be honest. They might be in a rebuild year because you got contracts fixing to expire next season. Could possibly lose a couple of contract negotiations, and you might be heading out, So, yeah. Offensive tackle wouldn't hurt either. I would like to see Tampa get an offensive tackle. But moving on to Tennessee. Now, this is an interesting take here. Tennessee, PFF has Tennessee going to get offensive tackle, edge rusher, or wide receiver. Now, since Caleb's back, and I think I went through like 8 teams. You're good.
Rachel was like choking to death, dude.
Huh?
So Rachel was like choking to death on some steak.
Oh shit! Hope she's okay.
Bad. She like threw up.
God bless her.
That's why I have a different shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. But anyways, what we got?
Well, now we're on Tennessee, and then we're gonna finish off with Washington, who just sold their team to a billionaire. So Tennessee, they need a offensive tackle, edge rusher, and wide receiver. But there's a rumor that Hendon Hooker might be drafted early in this draft at number 11.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So, what do you think? Do you think the Volunteer might be going to Tennessee after all?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't really see where he fits, other than the fact maybe you want to just swing him in there.
Yeah.
Because he's not very intriguing as a prospect right now, just because he's 26.
Yeah.
So that's gonna push people away. But I mean, let's be honest, like quarterbacks can play up to 40 now pretty easily.
Yeah.
So why not?
And
He could turn out to be pretty good. Like there's a lot of question marks in his game, but yeah, it's not a bad deal to sit under Tannehill. He's a good worker.
Yeah, and also he's coming back from an injury too, so this is a big question mark if Tennessee's actually willing to pull the trigger. But
And also, if they do, it makes us not really. Maybe there's a question mark still with Willis. So
yeah, you never know. I was kind of questioning why they got Malik Willis in the first place. So, but they do need more wide receivers. They do need an edge rusher. They do need an offensive tackle. So, Tennessee just needs to focus on their offense a little more, and I think they'll be good. They'll be back in the swing of things into the playoffs because, last season was a terrible season. And also, they might lose King Henry next year. Who knows? I mean, there's talk of him being traded. You never know. So, last but not least, for team needs, and then we'll move on to the teams that could be traded up into the draft, and then we'll go over my mock draft. I'll try to make this as quick as possible. The Washington Commanders football team, Redskins, whatever you want to call them, they just got sold. Dan Snyder, the Snyder family, did sell the Washington Commanders, so they might be moving on to a different location. They might be a relocated team next season. Who knows? Who knows at this point? But they need a quarterback, a corner, and an offensive tackle. This is one team that actually needs a quarterback. And they are this close from being a scary team in the NFC East. From the NFC East possibly taking over the playoffs next season. Do you think any of these prospects, besides C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, could fit into that mold into Washington?
if they go for the quarterback,
Yeah. Yeah.
What's their pick right now?
They are at 16 right now.
16. Ooh.
I mean, they could possibly get Hendon Hooker. They could possibly get Will Levis. They could possibly get Anthony Richardson. I mean, you're talking about a Russian roulette right there, man. You don't know what you're gonna get. So, cornerback, I would wait later in the draft for a corner if I'm Washington. Offensive tackle, I do think they do need an offensive tackle. So, it wouldn't hurt them to draft the offensive tackle in the first round. But definitely does need a quarterback. It'd be funny if they got Stetson Bennett, though. That would be fucking hilarious. But,
man, I actually... Yeah, because when you go through these top four right here, Anthony Richardson, Stroud, Levis, and Young, it'd be crazy to see any of them fall, in the top 10 out of that.
It'd be stupid. It'd be
then
stupid.
There's like Tanner McKee. I haven't really watched much on him. Hendon Hooker, yeah, he could be that as well.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think they're going to go first round, even though they do need a quarterback. So it'd be a reach.
Yeah. So that concludes the team needs. Now, teams that could potentially trade up. Now, I'm going to go over my teams that could potentially trade up for a first-round draft pick, and you'll give me yours. You might have some copycats. I might have some copycats. You never know. First team I'm going to go with is the Los Angeles Rams. I think this is a necessity. I think they could. I think this is a necessity. They need to trade up. This fucking team is disastrous. So, with that being said, you think that's a good pick right there for trade up?
Yeah, that's a really good pick. If they don't want to be stuck in purgatory, they need to make some crazy moves right now.
Yeah, like I said, trade Cooper Kupp and a couple draft picks in the future drafts, I mean, what's the worst you could do? Be a first-round draft pick next year? be a first overall pick next year? That's what they look like right now. That is exactly what they look like. They look like they are fucking tanking on purpose.
I'd rather trade Matthew Stafford than Cooper at this point, though.
No, I do agree. But teams are not going to be satisfied with Matthew Stafford, his injury list and all that. I think they're going to try to want a healthier receiver for
But
teams.
what if Matthew Stafford? What if he went and traded with the Redskins? Or sorry, the Commanders.
Ooh. Very interesting. And they won't throw the ball nearly as much.
Dude.
Terry McLaurin and Stafford? Fuck. That could be a possibility.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyone's talked about that. That could be something.
Yeah. But next team I have is Cleveland. I think they're going to want to trade up. Do I think it will happen? It's a possibility, but Cleveland possibly trading up would be a very interesting turn of events for the draft. Now, will they fuck shit up, or will they actually get a very good pick? Is the question.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah, and last but not least, the team that I think is going to be trading up to get a specific position, in my reason for it, is Dallas. I think Dallas is going to try to trade up to the top 10. They're going to try to make some trades for future draft picks, possibly trade some shit birds that we don't need. But I think Dallas is going to trade up to the top 10. And if they don't, I'm going to be fucking pissed. Because they actually do need a running back. Because Ronald Jones is dog shit. Fucking Tony Pollard's the only back that we have that's actually healthy. So, why? Why not, you know? So, who's your teams? Who do you think is going to trade up?
I mean, the Dolphins. No, I'm just kidding.
Aw,
Just kidding.
that's funny.
But nah. Yeah, some of these teams that would want to try to do something
Yeah.
would be smart for maybe the Broncos too.
Yes, I was gonna put that down, but I was like, I don't know.
And go for the Alabama guy. If they could make it happen, that makes a lot of trade and a lot towards it. But yeah,
Alabama
out of
guy.
Alabama,
Robinson.
Yeah, that one dude, the edge rusher.
No, Will Anderson. He's gonna be off the board.
Anderson. My bad.
He's gonna be off the board, bro. He's gonna be off the board by that time. I don't think he's gonna be. I think
he'd be top 5. You think?
he's gonna be top 3. I think.
You don't think they can make a trade into that?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
And who would they be trading with is a question, though.
Mm.
In those top 3, you got Texans, the Panthers.
Oh, you know what? Now that you brought it up, Texans.
You think they?
The Texans would be fucking trading. If that's the case.
And they'd get the first overall pick?
No, they get the second overall pick.
Or no, the Panthers had the first. Is it first?
Yeah, Panthers had the
Okay.
first. Which, that's fucking,
Dang.
that's a possibility.
Dang. So what? What did the Broncos? Oh shit! What did the Broncos trade? Russell Wilson for that pick, dude. Straight up. And then the Broncos get.
I don't know. That seems unrealistic. Because,
They get Stroud.
well, I don't know. Because Sean Payton's there. This is his first season as a Broncos coach. And I don't know. That might be a good hypothetical right there.
Yeah, but Sean Payton, how does he do with quarterbacks that is just making it happen and, starting up a, dynasty and all that? He did that with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
So don't you want to get a young guy?
I think so. I mean,
And
dude, Kaleb, what the
But
fuck have you been up to?
They're really young, so that's probably smart.
Jesus.
If they think that's the guy.
Oh my God. That's a
Bryce Young, bro. He's dealt with shorter quarterbacks. Dude,
Yeah.
The Broncos trading up for pick 2.
You're calling it right now.
No, I'm just saying, it sounds good. It sounds like really
That sounds very good.
the Texans, they get a veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's
I don't know.
fucking crazy. Imagine
I
Jerry.
think it's a win-win for both teams.
Hey, imagine Jerry Jeudy and Bryce Young. Think about it.
Devontae Williams, you got that young group of the oldest guys. Gonna be like 26.
Oh, shit.
Dude, they're so young.
Bro, that is
That
crazy.
seems like really smart. I would do that. I would do that trade if I was the Texans.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Sure.
What are you going to lose? But
Exactly.
since we talked about teams that could possibly trade up, this is going to be my mock draft, okay? I have fucking shit all over the place, And I'm going to go ahead and talk about my top 5 first. And I'm going to have you let me know what you think. And I'll give my reason why I feel like this is going to happen. And why this is a necessity. And this is pre-Denver Broncos trading up talk. But I'm going to go ahead and start off with number 1. Carolina got this pick from a trade. Trading DJ Moore for this first-round pick to the Chicago Bears. Carolina's going to pick, in my opinion, I don't trust them. Everybody's saying Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. But what does TJ say? They're going to fucking make a Madden decision here. Anthony Richardson from Florida. I think they're going to be intrigued with the way he performed in the combine and also the pro day, and also the way he played against Utah and his stats against Utah. Like, they're gonna overlook his season performance. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this kid's just like Cam Newton." To me, he's poor man's Cam Newton.
They're going to be like, oh, it's Cam Newton, but he's more athletic.
Yeah. So, Anthony Richardson.
Wildcat, he could play wide receiver.
He could play tight end. He could play just about anything. But,
Oh, we could just change the NFL.
fuck him. Just leave him on the field. Take the whole fucking offense off there.
He's not even going to have a position. It's going to just be athlete, just like if this was like
No,
high school,
it's going to be his initials, AR.
Oh, my God.
But Anthony Richardson at number 1. Number 2.
That's crazy. I bet you I haven't seen that, but I bet you that's not far-fetched.
Yeah. Okay, so just to remind everybody on the PMP, this is not including trades. This is just hypotheticals. This is my mock draft, but I'm thinking ahead. Houston is going to keep this pick, and they're going to play smart. Bryce Young out of Alabama. I think he can be a cornerstone to this Houston offense, and I do think that the Texans are going to try to pick up Bryce Young. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. But
That'd be the smartest pick, I think.
yeah, it's got to be the smartest pick if you're Houston. But
Got Laramie Tunzel blocking for you.
Yes.
That's smart.
so with Bryce Young being at Houston at number 2 would be the perfect pick for Houston. Now, TJ, who's number 3? Arizona. Arizona needs a lot of things right now. But what do you think is more important? Creating pressure or try to make a turnover? In your opinion, Caleb. Create pressure or try to create a turnover? As far as...
But wouldn't creating pressure cause a turnover? If do correctly?
So you're saying creating pressure.
Yeah.
So I think Arizona's going to get Will Anderson from Alabama, edge rusher.
That's very smart.
Because
That is very good.
You're replacing J.J. Watt.
Who was good, not great last season, but he's old.
And you're bringing in a new face on the defense. Yeah. So that's what Arizona needs on the front.
Bringing in a winner. They need a winner right now.
Yeah. Turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, that.
Number 4. The Indianapolis Colts. They need a quarterback just as much as everybody else in this draft.
They're going to go with Levis. If Anthony Richards ain't there, we're going to go to Levis.
I think you're wrong. I think this kid fits better than Will Levis. I'm going with C.J. Stroud, quarterback for Ohio State.
That's actually believable. I think that's a nice fit too. Yeah, with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield.
Jonathan Taylor in the backfield and a young wide receiving core. And if they pick up some more wide receivers, that would be great for them. And pick up some better offensive linemen. This would be a good fit for C.J. Stroud for years to come. It's going to be a Justin Fields type of fit. I think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. But he's got a good fit over there at Chicago. He's getting the players he needs. I feel like Indianapolis is leaning towards C.J. Stroud anyway. So C.J. Stroud to the Colts. And then number 5, Seattle traded up to number 5 to get the number 5 spot from Denver. So Denver would have had a first-round pick, but Seattle took the trade. I think Seattle is going to try to go defense here, and I think they're going to pick up Texas Tech's Tyree Wilson, edge rusher. I think that having an edge rusher for Seattle is what they've been missing on defense. They do need some offensive linemen, but I think starting off defense would be a great thing for Seattle. And plus, they have 2 picks. Come on now. So that's my top 5 picks so far. What do you think?
No, I think this is actually pretty believable. I don't disagree with any of these. I think they could all happen for sure.
Yeah. Now this is where things get a little interesting. Now we're going from 6 to 10. There's going to be some what the fuck are you thinking TJs in this mock draft. So as long as the top 5's good, I'm fucking stout. All right. Now we're going to Detroit, who traded up for the first round pick by, guess who? The fucking Rams. Through the Matthew Stafford trade.
There it is.
Yep.
This was.
So.
That's going to happen. I can see it happening.
So, Detroit has this pick. And they're going to go with a wide receiver to help out that wide receiving core. They lost DJ Chark, so why not go for a wide receiver here? I think they're going to go with Ohio State's Jackson Smith-Njigba. He'll be the first wide receiver off the board. He can create routes. He can beat the defenders off the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be a good pickup for Detroit. Now we move on to number 7, the Vegas Raiders, where they are said they need to get a quarterback. But do I think they're going to get a quarterback? I don't think so. I think they're going to go offensive tackle here. And another Buckeyes coming off the board, Caleb. Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State is going to Las Vegas, and Jimmy G is going to be the starting quarterback. Now we're...
All right, that's not bad.
Yeah, so number 8, Atlanta. They need wide receivers. They need corners. They need pretty much everything on the board to help out that quarterback room. They do have a safety, Jesse Bates, but who's back there to help him out? This is where they're going to pick up a corner. And the corner that they're going to pick up is from Illinois. Devin Witherspoon. Now, why Devin Witherspoon? I think he's got the reach. I think he's got the ability to play well in that defense, that scheme. This defense has been shit for the last decade, it seems like. But I think Devin Witherspoon would be a great fit for that Atlanta defense. Now, number 9, Chicago actually got this pick from Carolina. So, Chicago needs offensive linemen, right? So, they need an offensive tackle. And that's what they're going to get. Broderick Jones from Georgia. I think they're going to go with this kid. He is a fucking tank of an offensive tackle. He is a fucking strong kid. So, and number 10, Philadelphia got this pick from New Orleans after trading, after getting Mike Jenkins on their defense. They're going to need an edge rusher, okay? They need someone to create havoc on the edge to stop the run, you know? And that's where you go down to Athens, Georgia, and you pick up Nolan Smith from Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs. I think this kid has a high motor. He is a fucking freak on the field. And Philadelphia is adding on to that Kirby Smart defense. So far, what do you think about the top 10 in your thoughts on my top 10? And this is no trades included.
Right. No, I actually like this a lot. I can't say too much because some of these guys I didn't watch a whole lot of film on, but I do know some of the names when we're reaching out today.
Yeah.
Well, top 30, but there's a couple names that I thought maybe would fall, like maybe Joey Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Branch from Alabama.
Yeah.
But you already took Deontay Banks, right?
No, I did not, actually.
You didn't take him yet? Okay, so if anything, I'd probably, because you picked, what was the corner that you picked?
That was Devin Witherspoon from Illinois.
Okay, so that I think that's something I haven't seen in a lot of mock drafts.
Yeah.
So that's
Which makes things interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. There's about 2 or 3 guys ahead of him when it comes to. Well, just on PFF, looking at.
Yeah.
PFF, that's usually the source I use just to get a good note.
Yeah, for sure. PFF. Look those guys up.
And watching film. Watching film is.
Watch your film.
Figure out, yeah.
But yeah, I had Devin Witherspoon at number 8 because I just think that he has he could fit in that Atlanta defense better than some of those other guys. Maybe Joey Porter could fit there better. Maybe Deontay Banks or possibly Cam Smith. But let's move on to 11 to 15 real quick. Tennessee. They're projected to get Hendon Hooker. They're projected to get this guy, that guy. They could possibly trade this pick. Who knows? But I have them picking up an offensive tackle. This kid, he's pretty strong. I like his his footwork. He is able to push guys around, and that kid is from Northwestern Peter Skorinsky. I can't fucking say his name. Pretty big kid. I like what I see out of him. Now the 12th pick, the Houston Texans grabbed this pick from the Cleveland Browns, so you could see Cleveland trading back up. Could. But Houston's got 2 picks in this draft. And I already have them picking up Bryce Young, so he needs another wide receiver, in my opinion. I'm going with Quentin Johnston from TCU. I think Quentin Johnston with Bryce Young at Houston would be a phenomenal pair. You know,
Keep him local, yeah.
Not just that, keep it local. A Temple, Texas boy, by the way.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That sounds good.
But yeah, Quentin Johnston, he's a fucking awesome. He's got a great catch radius. He's the one thing I do want to say is he does need to learn more of the route tree, which is a kind of a weakness for him. But I think he'll have a good wide receiver coach over there, especially with D'Amico Ryans being there, doing all the defense. So I think with Quentin Johnston being there at Houston would be beneficial for him, and it's close. The proximity of home is there, you know.
Right.
His family's in Temple. He's in Houston. That's about a 5-hour trip, it sounds like. But
he'd be getting going early too.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna win out on those guys too. So
for sure.
Pretty quickly.
And then number 13, the Jets. Now, this is based on what's going to happen with the QB trade. If Rodgers gets picked up by the Jets. Hypothetically.
Wait till the draft.
Wait until the draft.
Just to trade him.
The Jets are going to go with the offensive guard. Osiris Tornil from Florida. I didn't really see much of him this past season, but from what I saw, he was pretty talented. He was pretty strong. I liked what I saw out of him. So him being there as either Aaron Rodgers or Zach Wilson's protector would be a good thing for those guys. Now number 14, New England Patriots. This team needs a little bit of help on offense. Offensive tackle, wide receiver. I went more skill position here. I went with Jordan Addison from USC.
I was actually thinking that.
I think Jordan Addison would be a good fit in that Bill Belichick offense. And with Matt Patricia there, I think it's going to be one of those interesting dynamics that you have a young wide receiver in Jordan Addison with Smith-Schuster there, Juju Smith-Schuster there, also a USC Trojan.
Yeah, and they won't drop the ball like they did with N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
He can actually separate. N'Keal Harry even struggled separating in college, too.
Yeah. So I like this pick. I really do think they are going to go try to get Jordan Addison in this one. Now number 15, the last pick before we reach. Actually, let's finish off the top 16. So Green Bay. This is also a hypothetical, depending on what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Are they going to go for a wide receiver? No. Are they going to go with a tight end? No. They're going to go with a... Huh?
They're not.
No. They're going to go with an offensive tackle here. I think they're going to go with...
Times they've, God, they always... I don't know what to expect sometimes from them, even though you know what to expect, but you really don't.
You don't. So, I
They
went...
could get center or something. They might get a... Who knows? They might get a punter. I don't know.
Honestly, I went random here. I went random on this pick. Anton Harrison, offensive tackle.
They might get a running back. Yeah. Oh, I see. Offensive tackle.
Yeah, offensive tackle Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. Now, I've seen a little bit of Anton Harrison. He's pretty talented, but I think he would fit up there in that Wisconsin weather. So we'll see what happens. Last but not least, before we get into the bottom half of the draft, or the tail end of the draft, Washington. Who do you think I have at Washington, first of all? Who do you think I went with? Or what position? Just guess a position.
I'd like to think quarterback.
Okay. So you think I got quarterback, right?
Yep. I
With-
would hope you would get, maybe a Tanner McKee from Stanford.
So Richardson's
Would you
off the
agree?
board, Young's off the board, and Stroud's off the board. Give me Will Levis to Washington. Will Levis out of Kentucky. He's got a strong arm, but he makes poor decisions, in my opinion. But I feel like if he can actually get a good coordinator to help him out, maybe, just maybe, there's potential there in Will Levis. But what do you think of What do you think of the half so far? You think there's some good picks
I
right
agree
there?
with like 95% of this.
Which ones do you not agree? Is the question.
Anthony Richardson first overall, but I could see it happening.
Yeah. That's what I think is gonna happen. What I would think would happen would be Carolina going to Bryce Young instead of Anthony Richardson, but I'm thinking like the organization right now. So
Right.
now we move on to number 17. Pittsburgh, the Steelers, black and gold. They needed an offensive lineman in a corner. I don't necessarily think they're going to lean towards those two just yet.
I was thinking Joey Porter Jr. That'd be funny because his dad, but
Yeah. Sorry. I got a wider
continuing the storyline, I think that'd be fantastic. But
I got a wide receiver going to Pittsburgh. Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. Help out Pickett. I mean, you have George Pickens there. You have Najee Harris at running back. Add Jalen Hyatt to the wide receiving core. Yeah, I think that would work out better for Kenny Pickett. But now we're going to move on to Detroit's second pick of the first round. They are going to go with an interior defensive lineman. This guy was supposed to be projected to be in the top 5 in the beginning of the draft season. I think he falls off to number 18. Give me Jalen Carter to Detroit out of Georgia. Now, why would I go with Jalen Carter to Detroit? He's aggressive. He's mean. He's nasty. He wants to hurt people. And I think Dan Campbell is looking for those type of guys. I genuinely think that. So, with Jalen Carter being there, you just improved that defensive line in no time. So, yeah, Jalen Carter to Detroit. Then we have Tampa Bay. They need either a quarterback or a fucking offensive tackle, according to PFF. I mean, it's nothing wrong with getting a backup QB, but I think it's a little too early for them to get a quarterback since I got Baker Mayfield. I mean, yeah, Baker Mayfield's probably hit his ceiling in the league, but I still think he's got some talent, So, as far as quarterback play, so I'm gonna go with a safer pick for Tampa Bay. And I'm going to go with Darnell Wright, offensive tackle, Tennessee. I think this kid has a high motor for offensive tackle. He's strong. He can push through people, and he has protected Hendon Hooker very well. I don't know if you noticed the way Hendon Hooker plays. It's all because of that guy and the other offensive tackle. And we'll move to Seattle and give your thoughts on those 4 picks real quick. Those 4 picks. Or these 4 picks. And then we'll move on from 21 to 25 and so on and so forth. So now, we're at number 20. The Seattle Seahawks, their second pick of the draft. This is becoming a recurring thing around here. Seattle. I accidentally gave them 2 edge rushers. But why not? So I accidentally gave them 2 edge rushers. But
you can't go wrong there.
And that's what I'm going to go with here. I'll just say that right now. This was an accident, but I'll go ahead and go with it. Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa going to Seattle. I mean, they could go for a corner. I'll leave that as a question mark. How's that sound? But yeah, what do you think? Besides that 1 pick, those other 3, do you think those were good picks?
Yeah, they were trash. Actually, I'm thinking. I'm just kidding. I think they were pretty solid picks. I really can't refute any of those, if I'm being honest with you, bro.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to 21 to 25. From the Los Angeles Chargers to the New York Giants. All right. So the Los Angeles Chargers, they're going to need an interior defensive lineman for sure. So I went with Brian Breesy from Clemson. This kid, he's motivated. He wants to work. And I think this kid can absolutely disrupt the pass. He could disrupt the run. This kid's awesome. Awesome pickup.
I think this draft's going to have a lot of trades, if I'm being honest.
It feels like
a lot of players.
It
feels a lot of questions.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
There's at least 2 or 3 quarterbacks I can think of.
Yeah.
1 or 2 running backs. A couple defensive players.
Yeah. I agree.
A lot of like at least 5, maybe 5 to 10 trades. That'd be crazy, but no.
Yeah, but you can't really project the trades that much. If you can, you're predicting the future, and you're a fucking time traveler. So fuck you for that. But number 22, Baltimore. I think they're gonna go corner here. I think this is a corner pick right here, and they're actually gonna go with Joey Porter Jr. out of Penn State. I think he's gonna play in this Baltimore defense very well if he does get picked up by the Ravens. They could use a guy like Joey Porter Jr. He's a fucking phenomenal kid.
They like those bigger corners too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good pick. Yeah. I can see that for sure.
Yeah. And then we move on to Minnesota. They actually need a corner as well. They need a wide receiver. They need a linebacker. I didn't put a linebacker in the first round because there's not really enticing linebackers I like in the first round, but there's a lot of fucking corners that can be off the board early. Especially this one. Keely Ringo out of Georgia going to Minnesota. I like this pick. He's a very competitive corner. He likes to contest the wide receiver a bit. One of the main reasons why nobody could really pass on Georgia, besides the pass rush, he was there. He was there to pick the ball off at some point. So, Keely Ringo to Minnesota. Next, we got Jacksonville. I think they're going to go defense again. This is going to be another cornerback pick. They're going to go with South Carolina's Cam Smith. He is a fucking beast, man. I like Cam Smith, and I feel like he can fit in that Jacksonville defense, that Duval County defense. And number 25, New York Giants. They actually do need a corner. James Bradbury is not there anymore. I think they're going to go with Deonte Banks from Maryland. This is where I think Deonte Banks is going to fit very well. And they're going to want him. So they could trade up for Deonte Banks. So, what do you think about my all corners picks right there? Pretty much.
Well, I mean, yeah, corners is a high valuable position.
Yep.
You know, you could argue it's the top 3.
I agree.
Quarterback, edge rusher, corner. Yay or nay. But yeah, I mean, those are. I would like Bijan to be already drafted by this point, but you know, I'm sure you're saving him for a special team.
So you get where I'm coming from. So this is my only team that I think is gonna actually trade. That's actually in the first round. The Dallas Cowboys. They need a fucking running back to help the load with Tony Pollard. This kid has been through it before with Keontae Ingram. He has done it with Roshan Johnson, who's also in the draft. Give me Bijan Robinson to Texas, or Bijan Robinson from Texas to Dallas. Why? Because I'm fucking biased at this point. I need Dallas to get fucking Bijan Robinson. Please. No. I do think he fits well with Dallas. I think that he could be that 1-2 punch that Dallas needs. What Zeke's supposed to, or what Ezekiel Elliott was supposed to be, is what Bijan Robinson is. He can do things that normal college running backs cannot do. This guy should have won a national championship. He should have won a Heisman, but unfortunately, I hate to say this, but he was part of a mediocre club, mediocre team in college, so, and that's me being a realistic fan. So,
Strongly disagree.
I mean, going 5-7 with the best running back in the league, or in the country.
The reason why I disagree with this is because, and I know it doesn't make sense, but they have young talent at the backups. You finally get Tony Pollard.
Ronald Jones is not young, bro. Ronald Jones is
No, I'm talking about the other guys. Like they have there too. Like they're not really that great, but
practice squad.
They just got Tony Pollard. He's got the whole show now. They got those young guys there, and then they brought in Ronald Jones. They're not going to get Bijan, bro. In my opinion, I think I can disagree with that one. I would love that too, but it's not going to happen.
It might not happen. Through the disappointments that I have to endure in my life because of the Cowboys, yes, that might not be possible. And plus, Jerry Jones is a fucking Arkansas Razorback. So I could definitely see him go after fucking Devin A-Chain or fucking... He might pick up the fucking linebacker from Arkansas for all I know. Fuck. But, moving on. Buffalo. Buffalo actually does need a running back, but I don't think it's a necessity for Buffalo. I think they need more of an offensive lineman. So I'm going to go with a guard here. Give me Steve Avila from TCU to Buffalo. I think that this is a pick that Buffalo needed, and it will help out Josh Allen. Now we move on to Cincinnati. This was kind of a last-minute pick for me. Cincinnati needed a tight end, corner, and safety. Yeah, they need to replace Jesse Bates. And, yeah, Brian Branch would be a good pick from Alabama. But, man, they need a fucking tight end. Imagine the tight end position with a really good receiving tight end. Give me Dalton Kincaid from Utah. This kid can ball. He had a tremendous quarterback in Cam Rising. I think having Dalton Kincaid there as Burrow's safety valve as far as the tight end goes, I think this would be great for him. So Cincinnati picking up Dalton Kincaid, but they could also go with Brian Branch. I could see where the argument can be for defense. So now we move on to number 29, 30, and 31. So New Orleans, they got a trade from San Francisco through Miami and Denver. So this one was like a multi-trade. We haven't seen those before. So New Orleans, what do they actually need? So they need an interior defensive lineman. They need an outside linebacker. I went with an interior defensive lineman. He's from Pitt. Give me Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh. Former Pittsburgh Panther, now New Orleans Saint, possibly. He could disrupt the run. He can disrupt the pass. I like what I see out of this kid. Now, moving on to the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. I went with the edge rusher here, Kaleb. I know the critics are saying they are wanting Bijan to go to Philadelphia, and it's just not going to work. Like I told the PNP earlier, it's just not going to work because I went with what LT said. Bijan is a guy that progresses throughout the game with the more carries he has.
Like DeMarco Murray type.
Pretty much, but better.
DeMarco Murray went over there, which was mainly a scheme fit issue, but
yeah,
he felt like he would not have a good.
I don't even think that scheme has anything to do with Bijan Robinson's play, though. I think Bijan Robinson can play at any scheme. That's just me. That's how talented this kid is. I don't see any other running back that could match what Bijan can. Alabama fans, Jahmyr Gibbs is not it compared to Bijan Robinson. I'm sorry.
He doesn't have the power element.
He doesn't. He just has the speed. But
And elusiveness, yeah.
yeah. But in this case, I went with the edge rusher for Philadelphia. BJ Ojulari from LSU going to Philadelphia. So Philadelphia is stacking up all the SEC schools. And I just realized I went with another edge rusher again. So it might be Jahmyr Gibbs to Philadelphia. I don't know. But last but not least, number 31, the Super Bowl champs, Kansas City. This draft's full of edge rushers, man.
They're going to get Zay Flowers.
It's possible. They do need a wide receiver. But what I have is an edge rusher again. Miles Murphy from Clemson. He's projected to go to Buffalo, but I have him in Kansas City. So that concludes the drafts, the mock draft. So what did you think overall, man? Do you think it's a possible guarantee that I might get 75% correct, or will I possibly get 5% correct? What do you think?
Yeah, no, man. I think I could see like 75 to 80% of that I could think would be like logical.
Yeah.
And then some of them other ones I think maybe, just maybe, there's some bias in the play there.
Bias, yes. Hypotheticals, yes. Realisms, yes. Most
There's
definitely.
like three of the picks that I mainly disagreed with. The Bijan, Richardson one, and then I think it was one of the cornerback picks you had in like the mid of the first round. I can't remember.
Was it Atlanta or was it
I think it was Weatherspoon that you took off. I would have rather had was it Banks?
You said Banks or Joey Porter Jr. So
yeah.
I do understand that. I do.
But that's just like I mean, really, Weatherspoon is actually, per PFF, they actually rank him higher. So I could see where you're coming from there.
Yeah. So this coming up, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, guys, we are going to be live on YouTube 15 minutes before the NFL draft. Me and Kaleb. And I might try to pull in some strings, try to get some special guests on here, which would be fucking awesome. So we are going to have our second annual PNP NFL Draft Special, Kaleb. This is a milestone.
Oh, man, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun, bro. I'm going to get my popcorn. I'm going to get me a beer, bro. I'm going to be set.
Yeah. I took Friday off because of this.
Yeah, man. Last time was fun.
It was fun, but it was a fucking nightmare at the same time.
I can't wait for the Packers to just make us cringe. Oh, man.
Oh, God. I can already hear some Packers fans kicking the fucking door down.
And I am calling it. There's going to be 4 major trades in the first round. Calling it.
That it's possible with this draft. It's very possible. And I got to say, I'm very excited for this draft, especially with what's going on right now. And this offseason, I got to say, this is probably the most entertaining offseason as far as the draft goes that I've seen in a long time. So, tune in at 6:45 because it starts at 7 Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The NFL Draft. You can watch it on ESPN or NFL Network, whatever your little heart desires. Do not video pirate. Do not video pirate. That's illegal. It's illegal. So we're gonna be on the entire draft until it's done, and we'll give our final thoughts. And then we'll move on to that following week, give our thoughts about the draft. And also, we'll also have other content as well for USFL, XFL talks. I don't know if you're going to be a part of that, Kaleb. I might be just doing it for the XFL and USFL. We'll have to get together on that. I feel like this is going to be an awesome, awesome draft special, man. And I couldn't do it with anybody else but my brother up top. So, I am excited. And, yeah. You got anything to say before we bounce out and call this at 2 hours and 40 minutes of pre-draft?
Yeah, so everyone get the popcorn ready because we're going to be on there all night.
This is only a taste of what the draft is. Like, these teams take fucking forever because they're on the phone with other teams and they're on the phone.
We're on the phone with these teams. You know, it is what it is, man. We got to talk to them as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. We're the PNP, for God's sakes. But, I mean, this is going to be a fun time. I can't wait. I know you can't wait. The fans cannot wait, for sure. I think next year, for the draft special, we should do it at a venue somewhere. Let us know in the comment section if we should go out to a bar or something and actually do it at a live venue. Have a draft special at a live venue. Doesn't that sound nice?
Heck yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Either I come up to Waco or you come down to Rockport. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We just got to set up a reservation, set up the computer or laptop or whatever, and record. That's all we got to do. I mean, I tried it once on a Sunday, which is probably the worst day to ever do a live stream at a bar in Rockport, Texas. I recommend not doing that because it is quiet, it is dead. So, I'd much rather do it on a Thursday, and it is perfect to do it on a draft special. Now, Super Bowl Sunday, that might be different. So, yeah, so tune in next week. Monday, I'm going to try to come on here, talk about the XFL and USFL talk again. For you XFL and USFL fans, tune in next Monday at around 8 o'clock. I'm going to try to talk to you all about how I feel about the XFL regular season, because it is the end of the regular season. There are some teams that are pushing to get into the playoffs. The Renegades and the Brahmas are pushing in. The Sea Dragons and the Battlehawks, they're tied for that spot, but the Battlehawks have the edge over the Sea Dragons due to a divisional win by a half game. And DC and Houston have home field advantage for their division. So I'm excited to talk about that. And then USFL fans, got to get to the stadiums. Got to get to the stadiums. Come on, let's go. So I'm going to keep up with more USFL. I'm going to keep up with more XFL. And K-Dub, if you're on, let's do it.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Had a hell of a time. Good to see you. And I cannot wait for the next pod, man. I cannot wait for us to talk more football and talk more PMP talks on this fucking banger of a fucking podcast. Thank you guys for watching. And we are the greatest podcast on YouTube, in all of YouTube. We are the PMP. Thank you very much for watching. Good night. And good night. Bang.